Well, hey there, it's Dr. Scott. I am your English 1C Honors online instructor. I have not taught this course online before, I've taught many others. I introduced myself to you as a person in another video, so I'm not going to go there right now. You'll get that in a minute. What I want to do in this video is introduce the course itself. So let me just give you the quick tour. And as you're about to find out, I love to use props in my videos, so watch out. Here they come. I've got a whole desk full ready to go. First thing I want to say is this is the first time in years that I'm not using this book, which is The Structure of Scientific Revolutions by Thomas S. Kuhn. When we shortened the quarter due to the COVID emergency, I lost the first week, and I just didn't think I could get you through this book in just 3 weeks, not 4. It's the most challenging book that I teach. So I have made some substitutions, but I want to say that the core mission of the book is still in place. And of course, if you read it, I'd be happy. And that is that you learn to look at the world through different lenses, through different paradigms, as Mr. Kuhn would say. And each time you do, the world looks different. And that's what the book essentially is meant to teach you. So I wanted to make sure that you knew that that was a theme of this course, that you're going to come out thinking differently, not just about reading and writing, which is a fundamental goal of all English 1C courses, but you come out fundamentally thinking different about the world itself, our globe. And by the way, this is my antique but still beloved globe, that the first time in the history of science that we were able to see what the topography beneath the surface of the ocean looked like, as well as above the surface of the planet. And that changed science forever. You'll be reading about it, as a matter of fact. So, what did I replace this book with? I replaced it with a whole speakers series. Ironically, I know quite a few of these people. At least I've read their books and I have them on my shelf at school, but I can't go to school without half being arrested. So the only one that I happen to have on my shelf right now is Mei Li Chai's Useful Phrases for Immigrants. But I did send you, and of course I'll be sending you more lists of the 6 unbelievable, amazing speakers that we're having for the class. And I wrote proudly in my email that I'd stack this up against any Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month calendar anywhere, including Stanford, Berkeley, UCLA, whatever. I mean it. I've actually been getting little messages of jealousy from my friends at those institutions. So be ready to meet some of the world's most eloquent and famous Asian Pacific Islander writers as part of this course, including Mei Li Chai. And I wish I had other books to wave around, but they're all down in the office, locked down, and I am unable to access them. The second book that we'll be reading is called The Sixth Extinction. Now, I got to tell you, this book and this book are almost equally difficult. You can see they're almost equally thick. So you lost quite a bit of reading pages here, and certainly the assignments for the first 3 weeks are much easier than this thing. But this book will be a huge challenge for you. It should be. It is to anyone. But you'll also notice that it was a Pulitzer Prize winner, and that it was a New York Times bestseller, and that 99% of the people who have read this book did not read it for a college class. They read it because it was powerful and transformative and life-changing, and allowed them to look at the world through new lenses. I hesitated to assign this book because it's not about happy things. And here we are in the middle of the COVID emergency. And many of us are facing trauma and tragedy, and I am aware. But I'm also aware that I think that this book is incredibly important to read in these times. And that the mission of a public intellectual, which you are going to become based on this course, is not to run away from troubles and run away from fears and run away from the reality of the situation in the world, but, as we say of our firefighter and EMT and medical professional friends, who now we admire even more and applaud every night at 8 p.m., who are risking their lives to keep us safe, we have to also run toward the danger. So this book will allow you mentally to see what's really going on. And we'll talk more about what this has to do with the COVID crisis, but my answer to you right now is everything. So that's something to look forward to in the month of May. April will be doing our API Heritage Months. May we'll be reading this book. With each book that we read, you'll be doing twice weekly notes on the assigned pages, a once weekly test, and a large paper at the end of the month that's based on synthesizing everything that we've learned, using your critical thinking skills, and applying additional research, right? So all of these things will be happening simultaneously. Now, the last book that we're going to read is, fortunately, an upper, and this is Drawdown, the most comprehensive plan ever proposed to reverse global warming. So essentially, this book gives the solutions to the problems that this book poses, or if not solutions, at least remedies. I struggled the last few years to describe to students the difference between fixing everything and at least making it a little better. Now that you are the COVID generation, it seems that that will not be such a difficult argument to make or concept to grasp. We're not saving every life, but we know that California has done better than all the other 50 states in the union, and I hope this is true for the rest of the crisis. We have led the way in flattening the curve, and flattening the curve of crisis is what this book is all about. So I hope that gets you excited for the course. Like I say, I'll talk more about myself in the other video, and you can always read my online stuff if you're really interested, but the course is not about me. The course is about us on this spinning, wet rock covered with life in the middle of outer space, spaceship Earth. By the way, April 22nd, Earth Day, the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, and boy, are we going to talk about that. All right, looking forward to knowing more about you soon.